First question I have for you was, can you tell us in your own words what CRPS is and how it first started for you?
Complex regional pain syndrome is a nerve condition, basically. Well, your brain kind of shuts down. It happened after a traumatic injury at work.
Okay.
I fell on site at a job site, and both my hands went back like this. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Smacked my head. Went 6 months with complaining of pain, muscles atrophying, hands changing colors,
Holy.
bruising.
Is that when your fingers like turn yellow or white
No,
or
that's
white,
actually
whatever?
that's actually called Raynaud's syndrome.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and so that's a little bit of a different story. I don't have that.
Okay.
Bronwyn actually has that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that too.
Yeah,
We're probably
exactly.
going to do an interview anyway.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And so I fell at work, and in July they said early intervention for complex
What year
regional
was
pain.
that?
Last year.
Last year? Holy
July 24th. Happened in February.
Okay.
Last July 24th, I had a bunch of doctors, my family doctor, surgeons, saying early intervention for complex regional pain syndrome.
Yeah.
WCB and the company that I worked for ignored it and put a death
Just thought it
sentence
was
on
like,
me. They just thought it was nothing, and they ignored everything.
kind of like the way Crohn's disease used to be, I think.
Yes.
Someone thought that people were full of shit, right?
Yeah,
So.
exactly. And so because it is so rare to actually get diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome.
Yeah, I was doing some research on it myself, and that's what I came up with. There's a lot of, I found a lot of cases where people did go through what you're going through, and unfortunately, the end is nigh, because who knows, right? But there's a lot of people, they don't understand it, right? So
No, I don't think anybody really understands it, because it's so much more than pain, though, too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like atrophying of my hands, atrophying of my
So what do you
legs.
mean, like, so you can't make a
I
fist?
can't. Well, no, my hands don't usually go up from this position.
Okay.
I force them to.
Oh my God.
So you can see the discoloration on my nail there.
Yes.
That's one, and I smoke with my right hand, right? So I am a
Okay.
smoker, but so the discoloration. Then you can see on my foot started to atrophy and die. See the black and the purple. So this has all gone all the way up to my knee on my right side. My left side isn't affected, however.
Really?
Which is really weird. Yeah.
So you think there's,
Yeah. So
so
it's both of my arms, my neck, and my right leg.
Do you remember the moment you knew something was seriously wrong?
Yeah, like last May.
So this is a month after it happened.
2 months, yeah,
2 months
February
after.
26th, so 2 months
Okay.
after it happened. And they were reaching for straws on what was wrong with me. He said like tendinitis and osteoarthritis, but none of the scans, like CT scans, MRIs, showed nothing wrong with me in that way, right?
Crazy.
And then so it was May, and I was still working, and rigging.
So you kept going.
I kept
and you're like,
going,
holy
yeah.
shit, well, something's got, and you kept like, you were taking aspirin or Tylenol or something to try to,
Smoking weed.
or smoking weed, yeah.
I smoke weed,
Yeah,
and
of
so
course.
yeah, right.
So
yeah,
everybody,
exactly, right.
So everybody's cool.
Yeah, right.
Right? Yeah.
So I smoke weed. I don't like pills. Pills give me the
no
ick.
offense to the people that don't smoke weed, you're
Yeah.
still cool.
Right.
But yeah, I don't do pills and shit either.
No,
so.
they give me the ick. You know what I mean by
Yeah,
that? Like
yeah.
the ick feeling in the back of my neck.
Yeah.
So they prescribed me all these stupid painkillers, Dustin. Oh my God, what a shit show it was last year.
Good. Yeah, man. That's people. That's a tough one. That's
It
for
is.
another conversation. But that's I
But
don't understand it. 'cause
but
I've
for
never been
complex regional pain syndrome,
Yeah.
they do not help.
There's no actual.
There's no actual cure.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing that will help it. So they were talking about like nerve stimulators and like drug implants in my back.
So they give it like a
to
little dose every now and.
But if the drugs that I'm taking orally aren't helping me, why
Yeah.
the fuck would I go through that? Honestly,
Yeah,
Pardon my
exactly.
language,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like seriously,
No,
why
it's
would I go
okay.
through
Well,
that? Right?
Yeah, I know. What does a typical day feel like in your body right now?
Prison.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah. So once I worked for a commercial construction company. I worked on the oil rigs for 12 years before this. I can run any piece of heavy equipment you put in front of me.
Yeah.
And now to go to not even being able to dress myself or like put on my own makeup.
So what's the thing? Was it like you can't straighten your arms right out?
Oh,
You
I
bring
can't straighten them
up?
out, but my hands don't work that way anymore. So they're stuck like this.
Yeah.
Sure, I can grab a beer can. I can grab a can. Sorry,
Yes.
edit that out.
Hey man, if you're not taking opiates, you can drink beer.
I
man.
can drink beer all I
That's what
want.
takes the pain away.
Yeah, exactly, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
you do.
so my hands, it's taken my life.
Yeah,
Right?
fuck. I know you. I remember I called you when you messaged me and told me that, and I was like, holy shit. I didn't know nothing about this condition or It's not a disease. It's
no,
not just
it's
more
not.
of a condition,
No,
right?
because
So
yeah, exactly. It is a condition, but it's really crazy.
coming up, the next question was, how do you explain this condition to someone who's never heard of it?
I don't.
No.
I don't want people to feel sorry for me. You know what?
But
So
it's
I
not
have.
even about
I know,
it's not about making people feel sorry for you.
but it's a really hard thing to explain to somebody.
It is.
And so for people wrap their head around it, most people can't wrap their head around what I'm going through on a day-to-day basis.
No.
So you know what? Yeah, I got some damage I felt at work. I don't explain it to people anymore.
Okay, I want everyone to understand what
yeah.
this is, because this is strictly for awareness,
Yeah.
and maybe it could help somebody understand it.
Well,
maybe
and
have
that's
a little
helping more
compassion.
people, right? Like, I
That
mean,
would help.
and that's what I want, is to help more people, because like when I saw the neurologist, the specialist in Edmonton 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he told me that horrible thing that we're not going to talk about right this second. He said that, like, you know, with all these doctors, they're like nerve stimulators, nerve blocks, you know, pain implants.
Just basically
Nothing works.
putting lipstick on a pig, basically,
exactly,
right? Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so nothing is working. So he's like, you've declined every single one of those. I'm like, well, yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, that's the thing. No one understands
Yeah.
what it's like, and it's really not that much huge amount of studies done on it, really.
No.
But it's becoming more of a thing that's being studied to try to get a cure or a
Remission.
remission for
Remission,
it. Yes.
even, right? Not even a cure.
Exactly.
Just some kind of relief.
Something to just put it at bay, right?
Yeah.
People think of pain as temporary, but with CRPS, it's relentless. How do you cope with that mentally?
I keep on keeping on, Dustin. I am a strong, tough lady.
Yeah. So you find keeping your mind occupied and doing something productive, or doing
The chore of the day.
Chore of the day.
Chore
or
of the day,
whatever.
you know, even if it is just loading my dishwasher.
Whatever.
I did it.
You did it. Yeah.
I did it.
Feel accomplished.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's relentless. I don't sleep anymore.
Yeah. It's
So
tough.
maybe if I sleep like 2 hours a night, I'm a lucky lady.
So it's different when
Yeah.
you can't sleep because of pain and stuff, and it's like, it would be brutal, right? Because I had a choice to shut my shit down, right?
Right.
You don't, right? Have you felt dismissed by doctors, friends, or even family who didn't understand what you're going through?
Oh, yes. The company I work for is now suing WCB for time loss and cost efficiencies. Just because they don't believe it, they're blaming it on other things. Doctors,
So they're
it took
suing
me,
WCB because they think that you're being
yeah,
fraudulent,
yes.
because they don't believe, and they want you to pay the money back that you've gotten.
well,
because
not
you've
so
been
much
out
pay
there.
the money back, but they're looking for, so there is such thing, it's called a TRIF score with WCB.
Okay.
Now that determines the government contracts you're going to get, like as a company,
Yeah.
if you are with WCB. So when people get
Most
hurt
people
and
are.
hurt and injured,
Yeah.
your TRIF score goes down.
Okay.
And then, but you're like my claim, it's costing them quite a bit of
Because
money.
when it comes down to it,
What comes-
it'll become where it's like, well, WCB won't cover your company because
So
you guys.
WCB, you pay so much per
Yeah.
employee per hour to
Yes.
WCB.
Yeah.
And when you go through like the ACSA or the core, you get money back on that per person per hour.
Okay.
So if you have lost time, then they don't get that money back. Then they end up paying more a year, which means they don't
It's
get
like a
those
credit score,
government jobs.
basically.
It's like your credit
like a
score,
credit
how
score.
good you are
Yeah.
safety-wise.
Yeah.
So if you're not
What's the worst assumption people make about you or your condition?
That I'm pretty much useless, even though I'm not useless. Like, I mean, I push through the pain, even though my hands are stuck like this. Like, yeah, I'm going to light my own cigarette. I'm still going to try to cook. I still try to do the
Do whatever
things
you can,
I
yeah.
can, right?
Yeah.
And so people look at me differently, though. Like when I walk in, like when I go to the grocery store, because I can't walk that fast anymore and I can't do
Yeah,
stairs.
yeah.
And so, like, it takes me like 10 minutes just to get in the grocery store.
So you find people are like looking at you
Yeah,
and stuff,
looking
or
at me
you're
all
like, "Get the
weird.
fuck out of the way," or
Wait,
something,
exactly.
right?
So I
Yeah.
move over and I'm like, hey, you can go. I'm pokey, right? I'm pokey. That's all there is to it, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, that's.
Okay. Can you describe to me and everybody that's watching this what the pain actually feels like, metaphorically or literally? Literally.
Yes, I can. So it's stabbing, burning. I like having my hands on my lap, like just even touching myself hurts.
Yeah. Brutal.
Having a sweatshirt on it, it's like 1,000 needles, like
Scratching at you or something?
just poking me, stabbing me, little tiny knives. Like it'd be like a stupid cartoon character of like this little mouse I picture, and he's got this little tiny knife, and he's like stabbing me
And he don't
everywhere,
stop, yeah.
and he doesn't stop, and all the way up
Just
into
from
my,
having like a shirt on or something.
just from existing.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
It's not even like it's
So it's
just,
not fun.
But no.
And if the doctors don't believe you, then dig deeper, I guess. 'Cause you gotta,
Well, the doctors do believe me. I actually do have 14
Or
diagnoses.
does WCB don't believe you?
WCB
Yeah.
doesn't believe me, but I stand up for myself.
Well, you got doctors that do believe you, and
Exactly.
they got actual documentation
Oh,
of
and
what you're
yes,
going through.
and I
shit,
stand
so.
up for myself. I wrote
Yeah.
quite the letter to WCB last week to one of their managers.
Yeah.
Because of the negligence that has been done throughout this whole thing, and just prolonging it though
Yes,
too, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, if we would have dealt with this when I first said this
If you had
last
early
July,
on, because you got advanced,
yeah,
right? Is it advanced
it's
now?
advanced, yeah, it's killing me.
So if you had it earlier on, you had it like,
I would have been able to deal with it with physiotherapy, occupational therapy. It wouldn't be killing me right now.
oh man.
Negligence.
So what would you tell the people that are watching this if you do have any kind of symptoms where you think you did get hurt? It doesn't matter if you're at work or whatever it is, you injure yourself anyway. And what would you?
It's all how you feel though, because CRPS is such a strange condition. Like, your muscles atrophy. Like my hand right now, it's cold, but it's sweating. My hands, they're cold, but they're sweating. My body's dying. Your limbs die, they atrophy, and it's so hard to actually know if you have it or not, right? So I really can't say.
Is there other things that could, like conditions that could be mistaken
Yeah,
for?
yeah,
because-
fibromyalgia, POTS, Ehlers-Danlos system.
Okay.
I have gone through the ringers trying to self-diagnose
Okay.
myself, right? Because at first I thought, okay, well, this isn't complex regional pain syndrome.
So are you sure that that's what it is now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
100% sure. Yeah.
Okay. Have you found anything that brings you a little relief physically or emotionally?
Weed and beer.
Weed and beer? Okay.
My dogs. I have
find
3
that,
dogs.
Dogs are a big help.
Dogs, I've got my big, his name is McLaren, and he's a 122-pound black lab Malamute.
10 horsepower.
And he is my snuggy buggy bear.
Yeah, he's a big
Oh,
one.
he loves
Yeah,
me.
awesome.
And then I've got a 21-year-old dog named Rex. He's been with me for more than, he's 21.
What kind of dog is that one?
Pomeranian poodle.
Oh, okay. Like
He's like this big.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it.
Do they eat spaghetti? Do they eat spaghetti and kiss in the middle?
No, they actually, they're all males. So then I've got
Okay.
another dog named Bailey.
Okay.
And they actually really don't get along with each other. They just kind of
It's a size
coexist.
thing, probably.
Yeah.
Dominance thing.
Well-
What's something you wish more people knew about chronic pain conditions like CRPS?
Is that they're invisible. A lot of people that you meet, you wouldn't think that they have it just by looking at them, because we put on a front, right? And a fine front it is.
And
you know?
maybe it's something that you're going to have to live with, and you're going to have to probably get misdiagnosed with, because that's just the way it is in the system.
It is, and so you jump through hoops, right? But
Figure
you
out
have to like when you have so many people telling you something, and so I'm Dr. Google, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, I know about like Ehlers-Danlos,
Yeah.
like all
I
these
don't
symptoms.
Google nothing anymore because
Yeah.
it scares the fuck out of me.
Well,
Sorry
but-
about the language, but
Yeah, no, that's cool. But like when you have this condition and you like don't want to admit that you have this horrible condition that's going to kill you, your body is going to shut down
it's like,
because it
accept,
affects
it's like
the
you don't want to
muscles.
accept that it's actually
Yeah.
going to do the unthinkable.
Yeah. But so I Googled every disease out there trying to self-diagnose myself, right? And be
Yeah.
like, no, this isn't it. Like really, this is not it, right?
So something you wish more people knew about chronic pain conditions is that it's basically it's an invisible or a condition that you won't even know you got, or you don't know what's going on with you until you start digging to find out what it is.
Exactly, and you
Yeah.
get misdiagnosed, and that's the whole thing, right? And especially like, so another common symptom of complex regional pain syndrome is edema. So there's
Edema, yeah.
edema. So there is, so it's caught and hold CRPS. So there's type
That's not the
1
same
and
as
type 2.
pulmonary edema. Pulmonary edema is in your lungs.
In your lungs,
Lung,
but edema on your limbs. So
Or
your
heart, is it?
heart.
One
I
of-
think
one-
it's
one of but sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and so your limbs actually swell, and so it's edema. But because
Okay.
I have cold CRPS,
Yeah.
my limbs are dying.
Sorry, edema, does that go away? Or?
No, that's like constant swelling, and so you could imagine the pain that people feel with CRPS with
Yeah.
edema.
Yeah.
So that is it's called the Budapest criteria.
Okay.
And that's how they diagnose somebody, and I think there's 7 conditions that you need. So you need to have sweating, temperature changes.
Yep.
You need to have atrophy
Yeah.
of the muscles, and then this is called dystrophia.
Yeah, I
Right?
can see
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah, right. And so
Jesus.
and
That's a nerve.
it is and it isn't, because my nerve testing all came back fine. I can feel all of my nerves, so
So that does
it's
probably make you feel pain even more.
worse.
Yes. So.
That's why I can't like wear sweaters and
Shit, I don't know if you're gonna like the T-shirt I got for you.
Oh yeah, I'll wear it.
It's not
It'll
cotton.
keep me warm.
That's what sucks. It's not cotton.
I don't care. I'll wear it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'll get it for you in a minute.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm not gonna do it.
No, do it.
I was gonna plug my clothing line, but I'm not gonna do that.
Do it.
No.
Why?
Because it's not for
No,
it.
give me a shirt.
I'll get you. Yeah, by the way, I got her shirt, but it's not cotton, and it might actually make her pain even worse.
No, that's okay.
Sorry. I don't know. I think you'd be glad you did this. Anyways, I think.
You know what? It's really relieving, like telling somebody that doesn't know about it, because
yeah.
I live with
You're
it
not just
daily.
telling me though. You're telling
Everybody.
all these people.
Yeah.
Millions
But
of people, really.
Millions of
So-
people. But telling, because I trust you, right? And I
Yes.
know you.
Yes.
And so, but telling you about it, it's like actually really relieving to
It's
me.
good. Get it off your
It is,
chest,
right?
and you
Because
get it out there, and you get to talk about it.
That's
and,
another thing. I've become really reclusive.
Yeah. Well, this will help
You
you
know?
break out of that shell. Maybe it'll help
Right.
you, give you some more days or months or years. Is there a moment that broke you down, one you didn't think you'd survive, but you did?
Yeah, it was last September. And my right hand, I was working at the company I was working with. They put me in the office due to their no time loss.
Yes.
So they threw
So
me
you
in
had
the
to do,
office.
what's it called? Light
duty.
Yeah. Okay.
So they threw me in the office, and I was working at a computer. I have umpteen tickets, by the way. Umpteen of them.
Umpteen of them.
Umpteen of them.
At least
I think
27 or 28.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. 27.
There
Yeah,
you go.
27. And so they put me in the office, and I did all these tickets, and I remember my right hand starting to hurt. And I looked at it, and it started to change color in here, like it is,
You think it was
right?
like carpal tunnel?
And I just
Like,
thought
oh,
it.
fuck.
I didn't know what to think at that point, right? And so they had said early intervention for CRPS in July. Nobody listened to me, so I just kind of threw it off the back burner because I couldn't afford to lose my job.
Yeah.
Had to work.
Yeah.
I've got 3 dogs and rent, right?
Yeah.
Had to work. So I went to work in the office, and then I knew it. I saw it happening, and I finally had enough. I think it was September 26th.
Like, fuck. You're like, oh man.
And
this is
I
it,
told
really?
them, I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
What was the response to that?
Oh, not a good one.
No?
No. They refused to pay me.
Didn't believe you. Probably.
Didn't believe me.
Oh,
WCB
God.
refused to pay me.
Yeah. You had a claim with WCB, and you're going
But-
through all this pain. That's what I
but-
don't get about these people, man. I don't get nothing about that. It drives me mental. thinking about it.
WCB wasn't even contacted. They were contacted on February 26th when the original injury happened. They, the company I worked for, did not phone back until July 24th when I asked for 2 weeks off because my doctor said my hand is atrophying. You need to do something about it.
Atrophying. Explain
Atrophying. When your muscles die, they atrophy.
That. Okay.
So
See, I don't even know
yeah.
what that meant. So
Yeah,
I just learned
atrophying,
something
yeah,
new.
and
I
so-
learned a bunch of new stuff today. So
Right.
yeah, I gotta kind of watch my language from now on.
Good guy.
Awesome. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So, do you ever feel angry about it? Not just the pain, but how invisible it can make you feel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, anger
Pisses
is like
you
my. Oh yeah, anger is like my number one thing right now.
Do you think that helps?
No, oh God, it just makes it worse, right? Being angry and
Stress is like
Stress is like
one of the
the
biggest
killer.
killers of
It is.
everything.
It
and I
is.
think that when people get diagnosed with anything, even if it's cancer, lung disease, anything at all,
Yep.
I think that the stress of it is actually what fucking kills them ultimately.
I agree
That's
with
what
you.
I think.
I completely
Yeah.
agree with you, Dustin. Yeah,
And,
because yeah,
Yeah, I think that the thought of how bad it actually is, it makes you, I've done lots of, I do lots of book work and I study lots of shit. So I truly believe that if people could learn not to stress so much about stuff like this, whatever it is, something that's really life altering or some bad news, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you got the other day and
Yeah.
you told me and stuff. But if you, I don't know. I know it's just easy to sit here and say that. I thought I was dying a couple weeks ago because I couldn't couldn't shit. I was
Oh, no.
constipated. Well, fuck, I thought I was going to die. And I was
But
like, man, what
that
the fuck? I
pain
felt
is like-
sick. I felt
Yeah.
everything. But I didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on with me. And I was like, fuck, I got to just go get some laxatives. So I went and got some Dulcolax. And no, I'm not sponsored. And some Restorelax. And I had to do this sequence of this and that. And drink tons of water and this and that.
Okay, so being
anyways,
like-
I ended up, but I felt good, right?
Yeah.
I felt, okay, I didn't stress about it, but I just tried that to see. I was like, fuck, I hope it works.
Yeah.
And it did work, thank God. But
Right,
it could
but
have been something fucking
fucking
way
way
worse.
worse,
But I
yeah.
tried not to stress about it because who knows? It could. I think it'll develop into something.
It does. Like worry and stress, I think makes it so much worse for me. So
Yeah.
that's why, like, I've got my routine, right? Because I don't sleep. When I was going to work, I was up at 5 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
Right? I shower, put on all my fucking shit, go to work for 6:45 because you got to be early, you got to be on site, you got to be up on the slab, whatever.
Yeah.
Now I still carry that with me, and I still get up every morning, and purpose, right? I find purpose is really huge with me. So I need
you're
some kind
angry.
of, but I am very angry, Dustin.
And what are you most angry about?
That somebody else took my life into their hands over company metrics
And
decided that I was going to die because they wanted to get government contracts, and I'm not going to name names, so yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that diagnosis or what would
Sorry,
they
I
call
got
it?
a little bit
What was it,
excited there.
diagnosis or a
Who was
the
diagnosed?
news that you got? Was that yeah? Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Sorry, I got a little bit excited there.
It's
I'm sorry.
okay. No, I'm trying to keep in line.
I know, I don't mean to get
I
excited,
hope I don't
but-
miss anything that I had to ask. How has this condition changed your relationships with friends, family, and even with yourself?
I've become a recluse. I'm really I stay at home because I don't want, I can't go out to eat anymore because I can't hold a fork by myself. So, like a lot of those situations where I used to go to the bar and I would play pool. Well, I can't play pool anymore, even though I'm really good at it, Dustin. I can't
sucks.
move my hands like that anymore. So it has affected me, and my relationships with people are trying because they don't know how to understand it.
No.
Right? And so they feel pity on me, but pity is not what I'm looking
They're
for.
not. They just don't. Yeah, you just.
I
need
don't
to
want them to come over
understand.
and be like, "Oh, well, do you need help with this?
yourself in
Do you
their
need,
shoes."
help
Yeah.
with that?" Well, no, I have my chore of the day. I still do things, but the pity and the way people look at me for it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, that's tough.
it is.
I can't imagine, honestly. It's
Well,
like I said, even me being constipated, I thought I was fucking oh man, what the hell's going on?
Right?
But and I was laying on the floor for a week, but it's nothing comparable to that because I got through it.
I haven't eaten solid food in 6 weeks. I can't swallow anymore.
Oh fuck. Oh, beer got calories.
Beer got calories.
Got barley.
It hurts the crap when I do swallow even beer or water, but solid food, I cannot physically eat.
So it's
So
just
I live off
soup and
smoothies.
ice cream or
Well,
smoothies
not
or-
even soup with chunkies in it.
Okay.
So I
yeah.
got myself a ninja, right?
Yeah. Blend it all up.
Blend
make
it all
a
up.
puree.
Yeah, and so lots of cherries, lots of strawberries, lots of
Good.
fruit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Avocado. Avocado's good.
Ew, I like avocado, but
Put it in your smoothies.
really?
Superfood. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good for you.
All right. I'm gonna try that tomorrow.
So, if CRPS had a voice, what do you think it would say to you?
I am relentless. I am going to kick your motherfucking ass every day and remind you who I am, like a narcissistic, abusive ex that will never leave and will kill you.
Oh God. Won't get started on that one, but thank you.
But that's the way I see it.
No, that's a good one.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
just
but-
keep plugging away and kick its
Really,
ass.
that's the way
That's
I
it.
feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What keeps you fighting, and what stops you from giving up when things feel hopeless? What keeps you fighting, and what stops you from giving up when things feel hopeless?
My dogs are a big part of my life, and God, could you imagine if I were just to die and they're like, where'd my mom go? She takes care of me.
Right.
Especially old man Rexer. He's 21 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then McLaren is 12, and then I've got Bailey, he's 5.
So they'd be devastated.
And then my cat, she's 10, and then they would never know why I'm in a shelter. And so that's one thing that keeps me going. But you know what? No, I'm a strong lady. I will keep going. This isn't my end story, Dustin. This is not how shit goes
Let's
down.
hope that it plays out like that. I'm really rooting for you, honestly. I hope that it's not they could, you know, I'm sure maybe in a couple months something will change and you'll get some kind of a relief or something, right? Yeah. Have you ever thought about starting a foundation or a movement to raise awareness for this?
Yeah, all the time. I did ask WCB to pull all CRPS patient files.
Okay.
Just because of the way I've been treated.
Is that public information? Or
No, it's not.
No.
Not with WCB. It's not, unfortunately. So that's something that needs to be asked for. So I have asked for that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I would love, like, and the way it's treated everywhere. And I can imagine. So I had to hire a lawyer to initially help me fight WCB just to get my wages and the treatment I needed.
Isn't that something though? You get hurt and you think
Yeah.
that you're supposed to be taken care of. You put all this work in and and you're signed up. You got to sign. Like every time you get a new job, you got to sign about a stack of papers this big, and it's all to do with that kind of stuff and taxes. We won't get into that
Exactly.
stuff,
No,
isn't
we
that
won't.
crazy?
We won't.
They're not there to. They're there to fuck you basically.
They are. They're not.
It's
They're
like you're
not
just a
there to help
number,
you.
and not just you, but anybody.
No.
So.
And so yeah, I
So foundation, starting a foundation.
Yeah, a foundation with CRPS people and WCB. Like I said, I had to hire a lawyer. And the calls that my lawyer, Ben, gets through the day, he's told me, he's like, Liz, I get 10, 15 calls a day about WCB. And so he really did help me. He's with Blue Collar Consulting, and I don't mean to throw that out there, but
it's all right.
Hi, Ben.
Fine, plug him.
Ben Barfett.
It's all good.
You know, and he helped me get to the point where I needed to be. But if I have money,
yes,
I was able to pay him.
Yes.
Right?
But
the people that
don't,
that
like,
hurt themselves, they don't
like,
have
oh,
money.
shit. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
WCB shouldn't treat people like this anyways, because it's in their mandates. Like,
No.
so that's one thing. Like, I'm a big researcher, right? I read everything, Dustin. And
Yeah.
I like to read. I like knowledge, right?
Of
And
course.
so their mandates with CRPS and how they treat people, it's off the rails, like, in what they actually do.
So to start a foundation or something like that would be
a non-profit to help fight WCB
these
for
guys-
injured workers.
Yeah, okay.
Injured workers. You know, people that I'm not
that's something
like,
we could probably get into.
right?
Yeah.
And so, like, for people that like weren't injured on the job, yeah, I feel bad for you and everything like that. But like, government of Canada does recognize it as a disability, so you do qualify
So
for
it doesn't matter
age.
if you get hurt, yeah,
yeah,
you're still
exactly.
gonna get
You
the-
are still going to get.
Yeah.
But me being injured on a job, where my wage depends on it,
Yeah.
but they don't recognize it, is a different thing.
Do you think
right?
in like a year or so it's going to be? I'm not saying take it more seriously, but it's going to be more.
I think this is going to be
options for people?
like a decade of reform.
Really, eh?
A decade. More than that, that people, when they're hurt on WCB, suffer with WCB because they oppose an insurance company for the company. They're not there for the worker. They want
No.
that company to have the lowest claim costs. They will do anything in their power to get those low claim costs because they get bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you like, I can pull it up, like the bonuses that these people receive.
Yeah, it's like a cop getting his quota.
Oh, well, yeah, it is.
Something like that.
And then the
Maybe not
CEO
like
of WCB, I think he received like $1.6 million in bonuses last year.
Oh my God.
And
That
so-
kind of stuff really boils my blood.
Right?
Honestly, that's crazy.
And so I
yeah.
am a number where it would throw all the numbers off just because I'm fighting for myself. And it is.
Well, it's not just for yourself. 'Cause
No,
you know
it's
what?
fine. I'm fighting for
a lot
everybody
of people
else.
are going to see this, and they're going to be,
Yep.
and it's going to bring awareness to it. So
Yep.
you're doing it for everyone else too. What do you think needs to change in the medical system for people with CRPS to be treated with more urgency and respect?
So it's just the unawareness of it. Like doctors, they're not aware of complex regional pain syndrome. So it used to be called RSD back in the day. Repex something Bronwyn, RSD.
Repex syndrome or symptom diagnosis or some.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyways, so it used to be,
they
and so
changed it, yeah.
so they changed it after the and with the Budapest criteria. It's just doctors don't take the time to relearn their trade. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, so me as working in a construction industry,
It
it
changes.
changes
Everything changes over time.
over
Yes,
time,
of
and
course,
and
yeah.
you know, but doctors don't
Yeah.
seem to study up on
A
anything.
lot of them
They're
are like going off shit from the 60s and
Yeah.
70s and 80s.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so when you see them and they're like, oh, well, I don't think you have that. And I'm like, and then I show them all my paperwork,
yeah.
right? And, you know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I
So,
get it.
right? So, just,
So
yeah.
they need to. The medical system needs to change, as in like more be updated on what's happening in the world today, as opposed to what was happening 20 years, 30 years
Well,
ago.
and realize that, like not everybody is just out there seeking drugs for
No, there's
pain.
a lot of people that actually are going through this shit. And
Exactly.
I think that's another thing that goes right back to this new world we're living in, is that it sucks for people that are actually going through pain, because all these freaking people that are addicted to drugs right
Exactly.
now. But it's a fucking rotating, like it's a.
Well, it took me 4 to 5 months to convince CBI Health and these doctors, like when WCB first put me into the Return to Work program, that I wasn't seeking drugs. 4 to 5 months.
That has to change in the medical system.
Yeah, it sure
There has
does.
to be some kind of way to screen or do something. I don't know, but it's like.
But there's a lot of people out there that will take the pills and not abuse them. Like I will take them on schedule.
Yeah, but
right?
there's
not like I'm just
way
going
more
to take
people that abuse them that make people look bad that actually fucking need them. So when it comes time for people to, that has to change.
It does.
Yeah. How do you handle the quiet moments, the ones where no one else sees what you're going through?
I don't like quiet moments. Quiet moments make me deal with things that maybe I don't want to deal with right now. Quiet moments are, I engulf myself in my dogs and my garden, and
I think that's why I went so hard on my channels, because it was just like if I stopped with a shoulder injury, I'd be just thinking about my daughter and all the other bullshit that happened and stuff. So it was it was a brutal thing,
It is.
So that's the
quiet
thing,
is no good for me. I'm a talker.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Is there anything you want to say to someone who's just been diagnosed with CRPS and feels completely lost?
Just don't let people bully you. Just like know your symptoms, and not only your symptoms, but what's going on. You have researched it like I researched it, and so you know.
Stand up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself. Don't let people bully you, because you know what? It's life altering.
Yeah.
And it's altered my life in a way that.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I'm not going to cry.
No, you let it out,
I told myself I was not going to cry.
Just let those people know.
I'm not crying.
So last words for someone that just got diagnosed, what would you tell them? This is not over yet.
Just it's not your end story, right? Just like it's not my end story. This is not the way I go down. This is not the way you go down. Unfortunately, it's really fucking crappy. And you know what? There's days, if I had a gun, I would have shot myself in the face already. Thank goodness I don't have a gun. But I'm just being honest.
That's what I heard. It's like the pain, I forget what they called it, but it was, that's exactly what I read about. Yeah. It's like,
on the McGill Pain Index, it's at a 49. It's the highest thing that you can ever experience in your life as far as pain goes.
And it's nonstop.
It's nonstop. It's relentless, and it takes over your life. But you have to find the happy moments, and you have to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
Painkillers don't work for it.
No.
Even though many doctors are going to say, "Oh, take fentanyl, take fucking anything, morphine," and they tried
to take your brain out of a situation.
But so they did that to me, and I laid in bed, Dustin. And I'm not a lay in bed type person. And I laid there and I was like, this is killing me even faster than anything else, is me taking these pins like gabapentin, Lyrica.
Yeah, gabapentin.
All those kind of drugs. All those kind of classes of drugs that they throw at you and say, oh, we're going to ablate your nerves. So you're going to burn off my nerves in my back. You're literally going to burn them off. And then so you're going to put nerve blocks in. So then you're going to inject my spine with foreign objects. And then you're going to put pain pump in.
Basically,
Why?
That's just...
if the oral stuff didn't work, I know people reach for stars, right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You really can't. So,
What does healing mean to you now? Not physically, but spiritually or emotionally?
Coming to terms with it.
Yeah?
Yeah, realizing that life is short, right? And life is precious.
Anything you would have did differently?
No, because I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
It was the way I was treated with WCB.
I mean, in general.
In general, anything I would have done. No. You know what?
Regrets?
I'm a pretty good lady. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really am.
No, I know. I love you. I think you're awesome. Question number 21. This is the format of my podcasts, and this is the last one.
Yep.
If this podcast helps just one person understand you better, what do you hope they walk away with today after watching this?
Sense of self. Sense of, you know what, there are people out there that know what you're going through, but Dustin, his aura, his everything is relaxing. It is.
Thank you so
It's
much.
relaxing, and it's not, you know, he's got a great aura, but it's sense of self and it's sense of worth. And you know what? It's not your end story. It's
So
not
love
my end
yourself
story.
and basically
Keep on keeping
keep
on.
on keeping on and know that this is, if you got any
for
fight in you.
yourself 'cause nobody else will.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And fight for yourself because nobody else will, right? Dustin, fighting for me, helping me, helping me. And I think that's the thing I appreciate the most is, you know, it's good friendships and the friendships that you have for the years that, you know, you've had them for. And then you finally come in contact with these people again. And it's
No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming out and telling me your story, because
Thank you.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to hear that, because I'm sure a lot of people are going through what you're going through. They don't have a voice, or they don't ever listen to them, or they don't understand it. Maybe someone's gonna see this and be like, oh shit, that's exactly what I have, and I
Right.
don't fucking know, because I haven't get diagnosed or nothing. So hopefully it does that and brings some form of awareness, or maybe you self-diagnose someone that they don't even fucking know, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you. I
No
appreciate you.
problem. Yeah. Oh God. Sorry. All right, we're done.
Oh goodness.
Namaste.
Namaste.